Hello everybody and welcome to yet another First Impression. Today we have The Quest. Now The Quest is a game that came out originally in 2009 on Pocket PC and I think on iPhone as well. And now it's been ported to the grandfather PC, the big PC, whatever you want to call it, the normal PC. And the developers were so kind as to give me a key for this video. And, you know, let's just go ahead and continue the game that I have going. And you know, at first glance, it doesn't look like much. It's definitely a game that was inspired by the old school RPGs where you have a grid system, as you can probably see in this map on the top right-hand corner. The art style is a little... It says it's hand-drawn, and I believe it looking at all of these all the creatures and all the things. It seems like it was going for photorealism, whoever did the art here, and it kind of enters that realm into the Uncanny Valley. I actually went and looked at pictures of... I'm gonna go ahead and fight these archers real quick. Probably kill them. I looked at pictures of the old phone version of the game. Oh, the freaking highwayman is gonna kick my ass. I looked at the phone version of the game and the graphics are a lot different. They seem to have been redrawn for this re-release. Oh, this highwayman is totally going to wreck me. But we can sit here and kind of heal our wounds over and over again until we kind of deal with them. Unfortunately, I ventured out a little too far, much further than I really should have. And I ended up dragging a massive collection of highwaymen and weird Amazonian chicks to my doorstep. Luckily, they don't enter the town, but they are kind of blocking me from leaving in this direction, and I would like to clear them out of the way here. But this gives me a quick in to show you how the combat works. It's a little hokey, if I'm gonna be honest. This is how you cast spells. You go through your spell book, and you cast spells. You click on the spellcast button. And that's gonna be a common theme. Okay, the guard's still there. It's gonna be a common theme among my main complaints about this game, which is it suffers from usability issues. Now that's something that I could let slide on a game that lives on a mobile platform, because you don't ever expect much usability from a phone game. Let's grab all this money. Spacebar is your use, and it's generally your shortcut for basically anything. Some heavy armor that we can sell. That'll be nice. And we finally cleared all those out. You don't have any idea how long those guys were pestering me. And it feels good to kill them. But we're gonna have to go to the inn and heal ourselves. But first, while the blacksmith is still open, and yes, there is a day-night cycle, we're gonna go ahead and sell this, sell some of the stuff that we gathered. Let's see. There's a low-quality cudgel. I don't care about that. I have this dirk that I like. And some bronze gauntlets. Yeah, we'll sell those too. And I think we're done here for now. I would absolutely like to buy this twisted rapier. It's so good, but I don't quite have that much money right now. I only have 508. And I'm gonna need to repair some of my stuff. But we can do that later. Everyone in this game, as far as I can tell, everyone that doesn't want to kill you, however, wants to talk to you. And here's where the first of my major complaints are. There's a lot of text in this game, and that's not the complaint, but the way the text is laid out, the font that it uses, it's a little bit hard to read. You may think differently, but the font is, it's not as easy for my eyes to skim when there's a lot of text on the screen. It just kind of blurs into itself. Anyway, I don't really care about Morgar the blacksmith and what he has to say about his shop, so I'm just gonna leave. And I really need to go to the inn. The inn, where is it? It's down here. And I've been visiting this inn a lot for more than one reason. First, the inn, of course, always has plenty of things to tell you about the sickness, about the gossip. Oh, apparently I finished a quest on accident. Haha! Alright. We'll go back. I got some money though. I could probably afford that rapier that I wanted too. But I've been visiting him so I can have a rest. And of course, resting is very, very important because that gives you your health and your mana back. You feel fully rested, and if you're rested and then your health and mana are increased for a while. And another big reason I've been visiting the inn a lot is because he will play cards with me. My favorite class to play in this little card game is the Necromancer, and I always like to bet maximum because I win almost every single time. I've lost a couple times, but I don't really know exactly what's going on in this card game. There doesn't seem to be much to it other than like luck and choosing the best card at any given moment. Sometimes the best card isn't exactly obvious, like, do I want to cast a defensive spell like Bone Wall, or do I want to drain 3 health from the opponent? And he's already at 19 health, but as you might see, that probably won't last too long. Inflict 2 damage. I'm just gonna try and do as much damage as possible. Looks like he's a Necromancer too, so he can bump his life up pretty quickly as I can. I've got this card right here that lets me drain 6 life from my opponent, and he absolutely has that too. Which means he also has a card that says drain 12 life from your opponent. And he's got this 10 damage per turn. That's painful. So let's go ahead and drain the life from him right here. We might actually lose this. I'm gonna hit a Bone Wall. Hopefully, okay, here we go. It's cards like this that really make this game much more unpredictable. You see it says combo card and heals half the missing health. So that's not exactly a card I want to use right now. I want to save that for when I am lower health, because it'll actually heal half of my missing health. It's absurd. So now that I have a lot of health missing, I'm gonna go ahead and pop that. And since it combos, I can combo into this. I have 24 health now, he has 12. Hopefully we can find a way to finish him before too long and not let him heal. Each class has a different kind of style of the way their deck is laid out. Necromancers like to summon these minions that do damage over time and drain health. The Sorcerer, I think, is one of the other classes. The Sorcerer does high damage, like high risk, high reward kind of plays. And the Warrior is kind of a more defensive guy with a lot of healing potions and a lot of combat augmenting cards. Come on, guy. Oh, I lost. Alright, good. We don't need to do that anymore. But we've rested. I'm gonna press F5 because F5 is your quick save, and you always want a quick save. There's a hooker right here, and she gave me plenty of information. And if this is indeed hand-drawn, like, all these people, they look really cool. Like, it's pretty solid artwork. But my big problem with it is the fact that it just doesn't really feel like it fits in this universe. It's like on the verge of the, I don't think it's on the verge of the Uncanny Valley. It's like absolutely inside the Uncanny Valley. Look at this guy. Look at him. And also the fact that he doesn't help me fight those damn bandits that came onto his doorstep. I'm a little angry at him about that. So out in the world, you're bound to find trouble. You can find more quests out in the world. There's also something down here that in this little dungeon that I didn't quite finish. So we're gonna go in here and see if we can finish this off. It's not in this direction. So those of you who have played Legend of Grimrock are no stranger to this. This is really interesting. I want this skull. I'm kidding, kind of sucked in. Skull of Saint Sena. I'm gonna take that, but I will probably regret it. I mean, if you ever take a skull from a little cove right there, you know something's bound to happen in a minute. You have found the Book of Primary Contagion. You know, I completely neglected to show you the inventory. The inventory is pretty big, pretty sprawling. It's a little intimidating, if I'm gonna be honest. Teaches undead magic. You can't learn from this book, probably because I don't have, maybe I just don't have the right skills, or I'm not the right class or something. But there are skill books that you can read that give you plus amounts and skills. And your skills are these. And I have a bunch of available points because apparently I leveled up. I'm gonna just dump points into light weapon, light armor, accuracy. Let's try some dual wielding. All right, cool. And as far as I can tell, things level up on their own too as you use them. Well, maybe not. Because when I leveled up, it said something like your light armor and your accuracy skills have increased. So I guess it's whatever you use most during that level will level up on their own. So yeah, you level up and you get points to distribute. So I can imagine if you don't know what you're doing, you can screw up your character and make it that much harder to get anything done. And here is another one of my complaints. It's the fact that there's no tooltips. Like, there's literally no tooltips anywhere in the game at all. You're just kind of left to guess what things do, or hope that it gives you like an explanation screen. Like here, it'll give you some explanations of the effects that you have on your character. And when I learned this book of Cure Light Wounds, it tells me like what's going on with the spell. A little bit of lore behind it too. Alright, so what is the character doll. Don't have any rings equipped. But that's fine, I don't have a belt, I don't have pants either, apparently. I'm walking around pantless. No wonder it says I'm immoral here. Where is it? Here. I'm immoral. Actually, I'm immoral because I stole from somebody and I ended up spending time in prison. Do the cursed. Is this a painting? Painting has nobody on it. As you touch the old coffin, you feel the cold breeze on the... Oh, dear God, it's a ghoul. Well, I'm just gonna keep stabbing this guy to death and keep talking about the game. So, I am in combat right now, as you can probably tell. I might actually end up losing this fight because this guy is kind of kicking my ass. Hopefully I keep blocking more shots. But combat plays out a little interestingly too. Again, if you've played Legend of Grimrock, you're no stranger to this style. But where Legend of Grimrock, I think I see a secret right there. Where Legend of Grimrock was actually real-time combat, this is turn-based. So if I sit here and just wait around, it'll wait for me to actually do stuff. I don't need to cast that yet. Close that, do one more attack, take one more, okay, maybe 2 more hits, and we'll cast Cure Light Wounds again. I'm glad I learned this, otherwise I would be wasting a ton of potions. But since it is turn-based, it kind of has a feel of a roguelite game. And that's just the first thing that really comes to mind, because I play a lot of roguelites and roguelikes. And in games like that, where it is clearly turn-based, you kind of expect a mechanic that lets you skip a turn. But if you want to skip a turn in this game, you just have to kind of swing at the air. And if you're using a ranged weapon, I guess if you're using a ranged weapon, you won't really have any reason to skip a turn. Actually, you would. Because if somebody's moving back and forth in the distance, and you want them to move back into your shot instead of having to try to follow them, you'd want to skip a turn. And the only way to skip a turn that I've found is to just attack the air. And if you have limited amount of bullets, that's not going to be something you want to do. We are running very low on mana. We'll kill this guy though. See? Oh, he's casting magic on me, you son of a bitch. Don't do this. Don't do this. I don't have enough magic for that. Small restore mana. Actually, let's drink this potion. Hopefully he comes back in our... Shit. Ow! I died. God's mourned me. Well, damn. Alright, I can go finish that later. Pass freely, friend, but watch your pocket, there are thieves about. Yeah, I'm a thief. But yeah, you can talk to anybody in town. Let's go talk to this boy, just to show you. Just to show you. I don't want to steal from him right now. Come here, talk to me, boy. Turn back, I'll call the guards. What a sweet child. But yeah, you can steal from basically anybody and it'll tell you your chances, and I would like to steal from people, but last time I spent time in prison, and I lost dexterity for it. I'm not too happy about that. Losing dexterity kind of sucks. But that's a cave, by the way. You couldn't really... Excuse me. You can only really tell by the fact that there's a hole in it and there's a path leading to it. But it just kind of looks like a large tree stump, not like a fully fledged cave. And that's where the art style of this game kind of falls short. It doesn't really communicate things very well, in my opinion. And again, being a mobile port, it's sort of forgivable, but clearly there's been a lot of work that was put into this game to make it fit for PC. But in my opinion, while it's a very good attempt, it doesn't quite hit the mark. Like I said, there's a lot of usability issues. Like, I don't know, I'd like a favorites kind of menu, so I don't have to go through this spellbook every time. Or I'd like an easier way to navigate my inventory. It's a little clunky here. You have to click things. I don't know, these sound like minor complaints, but it's a bunch of usability things that really add up. And the fact that there's no tooltips anywhere is really, really frustrating. I was going through that dungeon you saw, that dungeon that I died in, and there was a venom bat. And as you would expect, the venom bat attacked me and it poisoned me. So to see what poison was doing, I had to go into my inventory. I had to go over here, I had to go to active effects and see, I had to click on poison so I could see what the poison was. All that could have been completely circumvented by letting me like mouse over the icon that was up here in the corner and letting me see exactly what it's doing with a tooltip. And again, tooltips with this health, with the mana, I'd like to know exactly how much health and mana I have at any given moment. Maybe a small combat log telling me how much damage I'm taking when I'm in combat. More usability issues. Here, let me walk up to this guard. There's something a little screwy with the way the graphics work, and I don't mind this style of graphics where everything is a sprite. It's got a unique charm of its own. It really lends itself to like the nostalgia that this game is trying to invoke, where, you know, everything kind of follows you like that creepy doll, where the eyes follow you no matter where you are. You know, like the old Doom games or old Wolfenstein games. But the field of view here is so strangely limited. Shut up, guard. I don't care about what you have to say. The field of view here is so strangely limited. So he's right beside me. I'd like to be able to see kind of like the outline of his... Shut up, phone. I'd like to see the outline of his axe right here. Know that he's beside me. It's just kind of awkward to have him appear the way he does. He just kind of pops in. Like if I did a frame by frame, like half of them would pop in at the same time, is my guess. Let's see. Also, when I was in the same vein, when I was out in the wilderness wandering around, the only way you know if there's an enemy nearby is that your movement slows down, because it waits for enemies to move. So I'm moving this fast right now because there's no enemies around. If there were... Okay, everybody just disappears. If there was an enemy around, then I would be more along the lines of this. It's like, I move, the enemy moves. I move, the enemy moves. I move, the enemy moves. And that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. But the only way you know if there's an enemy nearby is if that's there, and you don't know exactly where he is. So let's pretend that this dude right here in the pier, Captain Vera, let's pretend he's an enemy. And this is about the distance where they would aggro on me. So here's the problem. I can't see him no matter which way I turn. The only time I can see him is in the quick frames that appear in between here. And in my opinion, this could be easily remedied by either giving us a larger field of view or letting us like have free look. Sorry, I hit the right mouse button and that opens up the inventory screen. Grimrock actually manages to do that pretty well. It gives you like the ability to hold the right mouse button down and do a kind of free look so you can look around without having to commit to turning south or east. And it'll let you have that information to know that Captain Vera is over there. Another thing that would help is having, you know, a little marker right there showing me that there's an enemy on the screen. But I can see how that would be a little too strong, knowing exactly where the enemy is at all times, because part of the challenge is spatial awareness. But anyway, in spite of all those complaints, This is a very compelling game. I haven't played all the way through it, as you could probably obviously tell, and those of you who frequent this series know that I don't play all the way through a game before I do these first impression videos. But I've seen reviews that say that it's about an hour long? Not an hour long, that's absurd, that's stupid. What am I talking about? No, it's... Some guy said he beat it in 15 hours, but that was not his first playthrough. He played the original one, and it's supposed to be about 25 hours of content, so I'd say anywhere between 15 and 25 hours, depending on how much you know on the game, or how lucky you get, or how good you are, or you know, stuff like that. Which, for a $15 game, is quite a bit of content. It's more than most AAA titles for sure, which will charge you $60. And like I said, this game, in spite of its usability issues, I find myself drawn to it, wanting to keep playing more and more of it. I loved Legend of Grimrock. I loved Legend of Grimrock 2. I'm probably going to replay them again sometime in 2016. Who knows? I love those games. And this game brings a lot of the same stuff to the table. In spite of its usability issues, I am having a lot of fun with it, and I'm expecting myself to play quite a bit more after I finish this video, because I'm curious to see like how strong I can get and what else the game is going to throw at me. Also, I haven't shown you the map yet. This map kind of sucks, but it serves its purpose. It shows you what you've explored in the area, the immediate area, because it kind of stops in a radius around you. I wish it didn't. But I'm pretty sure that's a deliberate design choice. But here's the main world map here. This is massive. I think I've only made it about this far out. And that's where that's where all those guys followed me to this south gate over here. Oh, jeez. Oh, I see. Yeah, like everything is something. Everything is something. This is a huge game. This is a huge game. And like I said, it's compelling. If you have a tablet PC, I think this would be it would be perfectly at home on the tablet PC. Just a touchscreen PC that you can take with you. Or maybe even a small laptop or a netbook. But I think as a PC title, it needs more usability updates, but that's not going to stop me from a recommendation. I do like this game. I like it a lot, and I actually can't wait to play more. So, gonna sign off. I've rambled enough. Again, this is The Quest. You can pick it up on Steam for $15. If you pick it up before the end of the holiday sale, it's 15% off. And you might even still be able to... I think you can still find The Quest Gold Edition on the iTunes store. I don't think it's out on Android. I've looked, but I think you can still find it on the on iTunes. It will not be the same version. Keep that in mind. It will not be the same version, but I think that this game might be a little better suited for mobile until some usability upgrades happen. But again, I'm having fun with this game. It's very compelling in spite of its shortcomings. And one more time, this is The Quest, $15 on Steam. My name is ingeniousclown, and if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you want to see more stuff like this from me in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time.